We got a guy, Isaac Feldman, here who used to work with us. He works at the Sports Network. He fought last week and won.
Winner by knockout from Long Island, New York, Isaac Feldman.
Here's the problem with that. Now with the proliferation of MMA,
Yes.
you ain't got anybody.
You have no idea.
Because that dude Isaac, who's a great kid, you'd look at him and go, I'll probably have this guy. I can handle this guy.
He'd kill you in
Meanwhile,
30 seconds.
What?
Right.
Hi-ya! No, like, God damn, I had the wrong guy.
Welcome to the IkeTagon.
What's up? Welcome back. Episode 2, the IkeTagon. The neighbors haven't kicked me out. My wife still loves me. And I feel like producing some good combat, sports, and entertainment for you. I hope you like the first episode. It's going to be more of the same. Some recap, some preview, some picks. Another great what the moment. Pretty good, pretty good. But a couple things before we get started into the news and all that great stuff. I hope you people made some fucking money. I told you who would win. I'm now 37, 13-1. The record will show. I hope I got that right. But yeah, Justin Gaethje, amazing win. We'll get to that. But I got some amazing news. I know it's a little early in my IkeTagon.com @IkeTagon career, but I got some amazing news for you guys. I got a letter in the mail. I'm pretty happy about this. You know, it came a little earlier than I thought. It's well deserved. Before I read this, I want you guys to know I've worked so hard on this project and it's just taken off already. I can't believe I'm gonna win an award. It's amazing. I don't know who sent it, but I can't wait to read it for you guys. All right. For Best New Combat Sports Show, for Intuition, great editing, beautiful commentary, and the winner for Best New Combat Sports Show, Helwani. What? This a mistake? I thought I had it. I killed it, the episode 1. How many people liked it, favorited, went to the IkeTagon.com, followed me on Twitter. I thought I had it. Anyway, some news for you. UFC Fight Night 158, Vancouver. Oh, Canada. Cowboy freaking Cerrone tied for the most UFC fights ever, the most UFC fight bonuses. That means he's freaking action-packed. It was a passing of the torch fight against Justin Gaethje. Roll the highlights. As Gaethje always does, starting off with leg kicks, finding his distance. Cowboy couldn't get started. He's notoriously known as a slow starter. Gaethje capitalized, caught him with the counter right hand. Cowboy drops to a knee. Amazing fight, action-packed. Sad to see the Cowboy go down like that, but Justin Gaethje now slides into his spot, number 4 in the lightweight rankings. But we didn't get the signature backflip when Gaethje wins. Some controversy. Going into this fight, there was a lot of love and respect for one another. Cowboy and Justin Gaethje, both Denver guys, probably trained together here and there. But Gaethje is the young lion. It's his time. And he proved it. But the one thing was the stoppage. Was it too late? Was it appropriate? As you saw in the highlight, Gaethje was screaming at the referee, Jaron Valil. And the reason turned out was because he liked the Cowboy. He didn't want to kill him. He dropped him. He thought it was enough. But it's the UFC, but it's MMA. But there's a lot of dollars on the line, Justin. You got to understand where Jaron Valil is coming from. The referees are looking for finality, but without excessive damage. And it was kind of a weird in-between stoppage. He caught him. Cowboy dropped to all fours. Followed up a couple times. Cowboy didn't go out. Had to re-follow up a couple times. Cowboy still didn't go out, but the ref was like, all right, you're yelling at me enough. You're cursing at me. You're disrespecting me. Do you know who I am? I'm Jarin Velil. But all is good in the world of combat sports. Cowboy's still moving on. Justin's moving up. Cowboy Cerrone, as we've known him, is gracious in defeat. Check it out.
I got no excuses. Don't know what to say. I'm not even going to try and blame the ref for saying it was an early stoppage. I mean, he does his job, and I didn't feel like it, you know. I felt like I was still there, but hey, I can't overrule their decisions, and it sucks. Sucks to get your ass whipped that fast. I'm going to tell my boy, I'm going to give you 24 hours to have a little bit of self-doubt, and then tomorrow morning when you wake up, you better be a brand new man. You better let all this go behind you, and we start over and we go again. Man, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to retire anytime soon. I'm going to go home and wake up tomorrow, and I'm going to call Dana and say, hey, man, that sucked, huh? But we're going to do it again. So I'll be ready, and I'll keep training, and maybe I'll add a little more head movement into the next equation. I don't know. Hey, man, what a stud. What a young, cool kid. I don't know what else to say, man. My hats off to the little son of a bitch. Good job, Gaethje, man. He's a great dude. I'm going to go have beers with his dad tonight. And, man, he did everything right.
Now, Justin Gaethje, like I said, slides up into his spot, number 4 in the lightweight rankings. That's with Khabib Nurmagomedov, Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor. Yeah, Gaethje's on the bigger and better things. Does he want to fight McGregor?
We're talking a lot about future opponents, and I'm being told that a tweet just came in that we should show you. None of us have seen this before.
I wonder who it's from. Who wants attention?
I believe it is from the Notorious, and it's no words, just a photo of himself there.
I can't see that.
Pretty much everybody, I guess, on Twitter is responding, fight Gaethje.
Oh.
He posted this right after your fight.
Yeah, he looks tough. He looks really tough right there.
What do you reckon then? Do you wait for the title fight, or do you...
If he's going to fight, I definitely want to fight him.
Yeah?
He punched an old man in the face. I want to him up for that.
Fair enough. Okay.
Here's what Gaethje was referencing with the punch to the face of an old member of society. McGregor, what the are you doing? So follow along here. You'll see it's a bar full of Irishmen. Not surprised. Peaky Blinders. Watch the show on Netflix. It will explain everything about the whole UK atmosphere and drinking. But this old guy's enjoying his drink. It's probably Sunday afternoon. Probably just watch a good game of soccer or football. Kicked around a bit. Have a knock. Have a boot. And I just want to drink my fucking whiskey. McGregor reinforces that everybody in the bar needs to drink his whiskey. I'm not going to plug it here. Everybody's probably drinking Jameson. Conor finds the one guy whose whole glass is basically full of whiskey. Why the does he want yours, man? Let him finish. Don't force it on the guy. Conor's coming in here with his Paris or LA type of fashion. These guys are wearing pea coats. They haven't seen the sun in 14 years. McGregor's all tanned, muscled up, tight shirts. Like, hey guys, I got my new whiskey. It's got a bit of Americana in it. This guy says, Conor, I've had enough. My wife's not sleeping with me. My kids don't talk to me. Let me enjoy my drink. Conor says, I don't give a shit about your wife. I don't give a shit about your kids. Take my whiskey. Guy refuses. Conor punches him in the face. You fucking kidding me, Conor? What are you doing? But anyway, I love that Gaethje didn't acknowledge Conor. I love how he's poking at him. He's shown to be the American hero, kind of. The American bully in a good way. McGregor's a bad bully, almost a villain. A lot of people were confused from UFC 229 when Khabib jumped the fence. Khabib was going after Conor's team, which talked all the shit before the fight. Talked about Khabib's father, his country. Conor offered a Muslim a drink of whiskey. You don't do that. Khabib's more traditional. Kept it inside. And then blew up a little, as we saw. But that's why I loved what Khabib did a couple weeks ago. all class, all humility, actually donated $100,000 to Dustin Poirier's foundation. It's a good job. Dana White matched it. He better match it. Come on. But Conor has slipped down the slope. And I love how Gaethje's not calling him out. Gaethje wants a title. He wants the winner of Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson. That's supposed to be the elite of the elite. Khabib's wrestling, pace, tenacity against Tony Ferguson's jiu-jitsu, cardio, pace, unorthodox striking. It's going to be phenomenal. I hope that happens. GSP can wait. Gaethje says he wants the winner of that, Ferguson or Nurmagomedov. But if the UFC puts a lot of money in front of Justin's face, you better believe he's going to fight McGregor. All in all, UFC Vancouver, UFC Fight Night 158 was a fun event. I'm going to get to the reason why it was really fun in the what the f*** moment of the week. Stay tuned. What also happened last week in combat sports, one of the best boxers of this generation, a heavyweight, Tyson Fury, another Irishman, a little more humble than Conor, but still very boisterous and loud-chested and brash. So you all probably remember Tyson Fury from his fight against Deontay Wilder. Wilder knocked his ass to the floor. Fury was winning most of the fight with his jab and his peppering. Turned out to be a draw. The rematch is going to be even bigger, but for some reason, both of these guys are taking fights in between the rematch, I guess to build it up. Wilder's fighting this guy, Brazil, knocking him dead. Tyson Fury's fighting this guy, Tom Schwartz, knocking him dead. But the rematch, the big money payday, was almost lost this past Saturday when Fury decided to fight Otto Wallin. And though Wallin only hit him with a couple of shots, they were good shots. They knocked him pretty good in the eyebrow. I'm telling you, a lot of money was almost lost. But let me show you the highlights. Fury rolling in. Obviously, we knew Fury had some Mexican roots. You know, you could tell by his pale skin and 6'7" frame and Irish accent that he was born in Mexico, and that's why he's wearing a sombrero, and that's why he's rolling on. That's why he's rolling in on his whole conquistador. He's got the mariachi band, the big sombrero. Good for him. Fury was doing what Fury does, a little dipping, a little dodging, and delivering some counter punches. But the biggest shot of the fight was not from Fury. It was from Wallin, who delivered a clobbering left hook who opened up a huge gash above Fury's right eyebrow. So the fight was great. It was fun. A lot of views, ESPN Plus. But the big storyline here ended up being the cornerman, Jorge Capetillo, putting loads and loads of Vaseline on Fury's bleeding head. Again, I can't stress enough how important this cornerman's job was. He had to keep this match intact. And again, he had to keep the biggest payday intact in the future against Wilder. Basically, Fury cannot lose this match. Good luck, Jorge. So round one of Jorge versus the Vaseline. That's a lot of freaking Vaseline. But I trust you, it's clearly gonna stick to the guy who's profusely sweating. Just as long as Fury doesn't touch. Oh no. Jorge. Look again. I mean, it's obvious, right? How can this Crisco jar size of Vaseline fall off a round head, right? How's that possible? Totally was implausible. Okay, no biggie, moving on. We can reset this. Back into the corner. Jorge, you're the man. Just as long as you don't get any Vaseline into the champs. Damn, Jorge. I like you, man. I'm trying to support you, but you're killing the champ here, man. There's a big payday waiting down the road. Tyson Fury right now is leaning to his second cornerman, aka the Karate Kid with the headband. And right now he's saying, keep this guy away from my eye. Okay, new round, nothing to see here. Except the referee goes, boy, you better get your ass back in that corner and get that Crisco off your face. Sorry, Jorge, but as much as Fury loves you, it's Karate Kid's time to shine. Good job, kiddo. Moving forward in the fight, Jorge jumps back in there saying, I got you, Vaseline, you ain't gonna beat me. Decides to take over again, but decides to use a new technique which involves squeezing his fingers into Fury's eyeballs. Did it work? Maybe, but Fury's got a headache now. Okay, Fury wins. Barely. Great job, Jorge. Now the rematch is intact. The big payday is intact. So Tyson Fury, what do you do immediately following the victory? You take your pants off. That's right, everybody. You take your pants off, like any champion would. Finally, Senor Fury explains the Mexican-themed walkout.
I'm a gypsy warrior. This is Mexican Independence Day. Come on, Mexico! Viva Mexico!
It's over. Ha! 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 No! Please go away!
What?
We're over! Stop!
What's over?
Hey, a second. Here you go, 50. 50 Americano, please stop, okay? Could you no, stop! Would you shut up? We're trying to have a lunch here. Would you stop? I'm paying a lot of money to stay at this hotel. I'm on my honeymoon. We just want to have a nice, quiet lunch.
Eddie, it's okay. They're not.
No, it's not okay. We're newlyweds. We just want to have a quiet time together. How can we have any good memories if you guys keep doing
Eddie, it's okay. I am.
Great job, Tyson. Good job, guy. You got it done. Otto Wallin, I don't want to see you again. I'm just kidding. It was a great effort. A great try. You almost beat the Gypsy King. Good job. That's all for the recap. More news, as I mentioned last week, UFC 244, Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal. It's one half of the two fights we wanted. Obviously, Nate and Jorge is an amazing matchup for the fans. They created a whole title for it. We'll get into that in a second. But Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman, the actual champion, they were supposed to unify the welterweight title. Would have been awesome. Again at MSG. The Trumps would have been there. Big show. But we got to settle for Nate Masvidal, which is not bad at all. I'm dead serious. I said this last week. I just kidded about it. The UFC is making a title. The BMF title. No, it doesn't stand for some type of division. Bantam, middle, freaky weight. No. It stands for baddest mother. Now this is starting to get a little WWE-esque, but Dana White's dead serious. He's going to make this belt.
When Nate did his interview that night, he basically said, this is for the baddest motherfucker in the game.
The reason I was off is because everybody sucked. There was nobody to fight. But with this belt, I want to defend it against Jorge Masvidal.
After that interview, you know, it started to build a life of its own through the fans and the media, and we didn't seriously start talking about this fight till maybe a couple weeks later in a matchmaking meeting. And I said to my guys, listen, tell me if I'm crazy, but what do you think about us actually having a baddest motherfucker in the game belt? So I went in with the design team at UFC. Right. We started to design it, and I will physically have that belt when I come back to New York. It'll be ready.
I like the concept, but does the guy always got to carry it around? I mean, does the baddest mother fight in the street, Whole Foods, or Toys R Us? Yeah, I guess so. The best part of the press conference, Pier 17, New York City, Manhattan. The local reporters decided to show up.
And another one for Nate. I smelled some weed earlier. Was that you backstage smoking?
Man, I smelled it as soon as I came out here. It's you guys.
Hey, Nate, so you call yourself a badass motherfucker. How do you say that when you're a vegan?
I'm harder than anybody here. What's up? It's coming soon. Hey, and the Terminator's a vegan motherfucker.
Good job. You know, I probably would have asked those questions. I probably would have gotten in trouble for them. But good job, local guys. Good job. Even Helwani was getting in on the action.
You've been called Street Jesus, you've been called Cuban Jesus, but I don't see you actually sort of calling yourself that. How do you feel about people comparing you to?
I'm in no shape or form Jesus or God. I'm nothing like that. I got one talent. I can baptize people, but I'm not God or nothing like that, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Jesus Cristo. Ariel, whoa. I mean, maybe he was secondhand smoke or breathing in something in the air, but That's his version of comedy. That's his version of comedy. You know, politics and religion I will leave out of the IkeTagon. Separate y'all. Stay back. Nope. Fight for Jerusalem on your own terms. Independents do have a voice. No, they don't. You're right. They don't. Presser was fun. Went fast. For only 2 guys up there, it flowed pretty well. And 2 guys that aren't the loudest or going to scream at each other, but 2 very smart guys. They played with the reporters well, played with the crowd well. Both showed extreme respect for each other. Jorge showed up looking like Tony Montana. Nate wore his stoic black. It's going to be fun. I'm telling you, I can't wait for this fight again. November 2nd, Madison Square Garden, UFC 244. I'll keep updating you with more news as it unfolds. But picks time! Hit the music! Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching! UFC Fight Night 159, Mexico City. Ole! Tyson Fury will not be there.
Viva Mexico!
Yair, Pantera, Rodriguez going against Jeremy Stevens. Can't wait for this fight. I have no idea who's going to win, but I still got to give you a pick and make you some money. Yair Rodriguez, the young Mexican born, not from like LA or Texas or El Paso or Florida or something. Mexican born. And the UFC wants to crack into the Mexico market. They already started sprouting gyms in Mexico City, or broke ground as they say. So they want a young, good-looking, talented Mexican to be at the forefront of that. The face of Mexico. Yair can be that guy. But he has a tough test in front of him. Jeremy Stevens has fought everybody. Even though he's 33, he's young, he's got a bunch of miles still left on him. He's been through wars. And it's really hard to pick against him. You know, he committed really big time to this fight. As you're going to hear in this audio coming up, he moved to Mexico. Left his whole family. He said he was battling depression last year. He hasn't gotten a win in a couple of fights. He's fought former champions. He's fought young up-and-coming prospects, Yair being one of them, again coming up. And if this clip doesn't convince you that he's all in, then nothing's going to sell you.
My killer instinct, my passion, my savage dog, warrior type, Aztec spirit is still there. You know, and now I'm hungry. Now I'm coming off losses. My back's against the wall. And I'm coming against a young kid who thinks he's from a new era. Like, what the fuck are you going to show me or would think that you're going to do to me that I haven't seen, bro? You know, I went and trained with the best. I am the best. I fought in the best. You know, you ain't going to show me shit. The only thing you're going to show is the world that you're going to be sleeping on the fucking canvas. And I can't wait to show it.
That audio courtesy of Ariel Helwani. Thank you, Ariel. Love your content. Love what you do. Don't ask about religion. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Peace. So, who do I think is going to win? The young, talented, dynamic striking Yair Rodriguez going against the hard-hitting, fast-paced, slug-it-out Jeremy Stevens? I got to give you an answer here, don't I? Rodriguez. Put your money on it. It's going to be close, though. And again, follow me on Twitter, @IkeTagon, and I'll give you at least 4 more picks, all right? But the record doesn't lie. Come on, people. Let's go. Now, back by popular demand. I should have won that f***ing award, man. The what the f*** in all moments of the week. So as I said earlier, UFC Vancouver, Fight Night 158 took place. Amazing performance by Justin Gaethje, but on the undercard, Michel Pereira against local Canadian Tristan Connolly took place. And this guy who thinks he's in the game Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat comes out here doing flips, cartwheels, making the show about him, doing all this Jackie Chan, Jet Li stuff at the weigh-ins, puts on a show before he's actually supposed to fight, literally. It looks cool. Backflips, breakdancing. I was like, whoa. I was like, get the popcorn ready. I was like, this guy he's drawing me in. And what if he does one of these breakdancing moves and he kicks somebody's leg out and then knocks them out when they're on the floor? I'm sold. I want to know what this guy's story is then. You got me in, man. The breakdancing, all that athletic crap, you got me in. But when the fight actually happens, you better not, Michel. Yes, his name's Michel. What are you doing, guy? Do a cartwheel out of this, man. Don't let him get on top of you. This flabby, out-of-shape guy who took a fight on 5 days' notice is kicking your ass, man. It's not a breakdance competition. That was easy what the f*** moment for me. Good job, Tristan. Can't wait to see your next fight. In the post-fight interview, He said, you give me 6 days. In my next fight, I'll do even better. Kid's class, local Canadian. Can't wait to see what's next. Michel, I don't know if he's going to be on Breakdancers or Break Your Neck Volume 9. I don't know what he's doing next. Figure it out, brother. Figure it out. And I'm putting the all moment on top of that because, again, the local boy, out of shape, looks like he just cleaned somebody's pipes as a plumber. Like, I'm trying to make him a blue-collar guy, not like a weird... You get where I'm going with that. He scrubbed the floor with him, all right? He swept the guard with him. Any type of blue-collar label you want to put on Connolly, good job. You did it, kid. Aww. And finally, for this week's IkeTagon.com, episode number 2, movie reviews. 127 Hours, directed by Danny Boyle, the same guy who did Slumdog Millionaire. I still haven't seen that. I gotta see it. I heard it's huge in Bollywood. But he did 127 Hours. It took me a while to get to this. 2012. You know, everybody knows the story, and everybody knows how it ends. If you don't at this point, you're probably 8 years old. But James Franco plays a hiker who's this extremist type of lifestyle, who runs around, jumps off canyons, lives no fear, rides his bike fast, drives his car fast, decides never to bring water anywhere. But we all know he gets stuck between a rock and a hard place. And the movie was kind of funky. You knew where it was all leading, obviously, at the start of it. It was fastly cut, beautifully edited. Great job by James Franco because I literally forgot who he was. This wasn't the Pineapple Express James Franco, wasn't the Green Goblin James Franco. I literally fell in love with the dork James Franco, and that was good because I forgot totally who he was. The camera moments are the best when he's looking in the camera and he's explaining, giving you dialogue, play-by-play commentary about what's going on, and the lead up to the slice and the dice. Not to spoil it, but he cuts his freaking arm off. It was good. And the cool part was, because there was no violence or blood the entire movie, and I've seen a ton of violent movies. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not the old one, the new ones, the actual gore, blood and guts. But I've seen actual disgusting looking movies, all the Saws. But for some reason, because there was no violence the whole movie, no blood, no arms, limbs were being cut off the whole movie, when you actually did see him plunge into that elbow or forearm, it was pretty gross. I had to look away for a moment. My wife was totally like, no. I was like, all right, you're going to do this with pliers? All right. God bless you. So, I'm giving it an A. It's the first A I've given, so you take it, James Franco. You continue doing that show, The Deuce. I've only seen 1 episode. Next and last, no 3 films for you. I'm keeping this IkeTagon short. You know, you guys ain't sponsoring me unless you want to. IkeTagon.com, IkeTagon@gmail.com. Send me your money, your thoughts, anything you want. Bill Burr's Paper Tiger. Love Bill Burr. Former co-worker of Dave Chappelle on The Chappelle Show. We've seen all Bill Burr's stand-ups. The black and white one was amazing. The one where he had a little red curly pubes on his head was fantastic. The last one where he looks like a cowboy. He goes on and on and on with the gorilla joke and the Hitler joke. That was awful. But this was a beautiful bounce back for Bill Burr. Not his best. Not his best. But the second best? That's up for debate. This was good. He did this in England. And you don't understand why until you watch the first 10 minutes. And he has all the big hits. He's talking about the Me Too, all the sexual harassments, equal rights, trans, gay. He nailed it in the first 10 minutes. It was heavy hitting. And then he kind of took a little bit of a dip. But it was informal. I almost nodded off. He brought it right back up. I was entertained. I loved it. I'm going to give it an A. It's fun. And I think the best way to judge a piece of artwork or cinema or film is its watchability. How many times can you rewatch it and get something new out of it? I can't wait to see this a second time. Again, Paper Tiger on Netflix. Great job, Bill Burr. You bounce back. All right, it's that time where I lean into the mic. It's the positive message of the week. I know it brings it down a lot, the tone. But I think these headlines or stories need to get out there. This week, I want to talk about cyberbullying. This video just came out that went viral everywhere about these kids ganging up. I know it's only one kid that fights them, but the kid filming, the kids around him, they're all ganging up on this young kid. Of course, he's wearing glasses, and they just start beating him up. He's doing some knees like it's UFC style, but the fact that this kid thinks it's okay, and he knows he's being filmed, he knows he's in front of his peers, and he's still going to beat this kid's brains in, mounts him. At some point, another kid steps in and says, yo, dude, you got to stop. As much as I may not like this kid, as much as I think you're the cooler one, you got to stop, okay? Because this is getting disgusting. It's really disturbing. Cyberbullying's all over the place. And it's sad. I mean, it's part of the Fortnite culture. A lot of kids talk behind the screen, have the mics. Nobody knows how old they are. They talk all this crap. I've actually seen instances where kids put together YouTube videos and they do threats over YouTube to another kid. And maybe they meet in school, maybe they don't. What's wrong with them? But it all has to do with the internet and how people react socially. It's being exemplified now in the social media age with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is. The kid who's beating up the kid in the video, I'm sure there's some deep-rooted issues with his parents or maybe his older brother, and this is a way for him to express himself. And it's sad. On a physical side, not only do I believe everybody should practice martial arts for self-defense and confidence and discipline, but mentally, the best part of teams and martial arts is the communication and the learning. Huge miscommunication going on with this kid and the other kids. And let me clarify. Nowadays, it seems that people are spurring the moment. They're very reactionary. If they feel something, they react on it. And it's not healthy, obviously. People are dying. Kids are getting beat up. So what are we going to do to talk about it? Everybody's just going to blame the lefts or blame the rights? No. You guys are all idiots if you think that's the solution. We need to communicate better. We need to talk better. The parents, the teachers, law enforcement, everybody needs to be on the same plane. But most importantly, the parents. I think the parents need to put down the phone, spend time with the kids. When they're baby, roll around on the floor with them. Get carpet, don't get wood floors. When they're older, teach them sports. Even if you don't know, you can still be a better athlete at 40 than they are at 4. Throw them a baseball, take them to the park. Don't just watch movies at home. Go to a movie theater, go to a park, go to a ball game. What I'm saying is I think these kids who react in the most negative and probably evil ways, they've never had an avenue to communicate their feelings. They've never felt it come back to them. They've never felt true happiness, true love. They've never been, or they're spoiled and they can just run from their parents, get whatever they want, and then when they don't get what they want from somebody who's not their parents, maybe a girl at school, maybe somebody who's bullying them, the worst happens. Communication is the key. Trust me on this. Please trust me on this. Don't mask your problems. Do something healthy if you want to get your problems out. Literally, exercise your demons. So to wrap it up, parents, pay attention to your kids. You should find out that the kid got beat up at school. Go to the teachers. Don't embarrass him because then he'll close up. But find a way to correct the wrong. And again, I think communication is the key. I mean well, trust me. If I didn't explain something fully, I've not really talked about mental illness to people. I've heard other famous podcast hosts talk about it. But I mean well, DM me, email me, tweet me. If you feel differently, I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to communicate with you. I'm an easygoing guy. I have a ton of body armor. I can take your best shot. Literally, I've gotten this shit kicked out of me a lot. I can take your best shot. Unless you're Francis Ngannou. No. Whatever he says on mental illness is the right thing. So, episode 2 in the books. Your picks, your news, your comedy, your welcome, your movie reviews. Got it all wrapped into one show. Combat, sports, entertainment. I got it for you. You're welcome. Tune in next week. We'll recap Rodriguez-Stevens. I'm sure somebody's going to get beat up in the streets in the MMA world, and we'll talk about it. We'll discuss it on the IkeTagon, IkeTagon.com, at IkeTagon, Instagram, YouTube, Gmail, Twitter. Later.